It's round 2 of the Neon Dynasty Championship. We're still playing the white aggro deck in Alchemy here, and I'm up against... I think I've seen this list before. I just played against this exact 75 last round, which I already made a video on. And it's also the exact 75 that I won the qualifier with 2 weeks before the tournament. So yeah, I'm playing against yet another opponent who did not have much time on their hands and decided that the best thing to do was just to copy this deck and run with it without making changes, which is a fair thing to do. I mean, this particular opponent told me afterwards that he had to move during the like week leading up to the tournament, so like there was, just didn't have much time. Totally respectable. And my opponent here, Eugene Lewin, is playing like again the exact same deck. I already talked about in the last video like how this matchup goes, so I'm not really gonna go over it again. Definitely watch that if you're interested in more details on what I think of this matchup and what's important. So yeah, I'm not really gonna repeat it here. It's also maybe watching the other round 1 there is pretty important because I may have forgotten to press the record button for this round. So I don't have any video footage. I don't have video footage to show you of this entire round. And I'm so sorry. It is the only round that happened to. But luckily, we do have 17 lands. This is a website that you can install an app through that, which tracks all your limited data and collects the data from all the drafters, and it's incredible for limited players. It also records all your games, including the constructed ones, and you can view them on your account through recent games. Just rewatch your own matches from Arena without having to record them. That's an incredible feature, and yeah, 17 lands is just amazing. So definitely check them out. Not sponsored, but I guess they are kind of sponsored in a way that they're helping make this video even possible. So obviously the interface is gonna look a lot worse. It's just so much worse than than if I'm watching a game on Arena, but you're gonna have to live through it or not. I mean, this is definitely one of the least impactful or interesting games that I played. So I'm up against Runes here. It's kind of the same that happened in round 1, except I win the die roll in this one. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna go with interesting plays, but feel free to skip ahead if you can't bother with things looking like this. Oh no. I just I just spoiled the ending of game 1. I'm sorry. Anyways, we are up against Runes here again. We won the die roll, and our opening hand, as you can see, is terrible. We only have 1 land, so let's just mulligan that. And now going to a hand that's not great either, because it's 4 lands, but it has turn 3 Archon into play with a backup. So they only have touched the Spirit Realm to kill game 1, and so that's kind of perfect. To have 2 Archons here. That's just by itself gonna do so much that it doesn't really matter that the rest of my hand is kind of unimpressive. I'm also gonna plan to play out this Evangel on turn 2 here because opponent casts Commune with the spirits here, and they hit a Needle Bridge pathway. I'm gonna plan to cast Evangel turn 2 if I don't draw anything better. I did not, because the Archons log out the Evangels anyway. I can't play multiple Evangels while Archon is in play, so might as well just play it out turn 2 here and provide a little bit of pressure, or maybe trade with something. So there's an ability. Okay, nicely done. And goes into my hand and gets discarded. Alright, perfect. So they play a second land here and a Kami of Trenchants. Again, not the least, the least scary thing we can play here on turn 2. Especially since it's not gonna grow that large when we have Archon in play now. So we can save the attack here first. They just don't block, go to 17, which makes sense. And yeah, now down, play the Archon. And they might try and make this Kami really big, which you're gonna do with a Rune of Might, but we have Skyclave Apparition to kind of control that. So they just make a 4/4 here. They can attack, but then they, it's kind of interesting, right? Because they can block the 3/1 pretty easily, but if I have another way to tap it or Skyclave, then Like they're taking a lot of damage and they're definitely losing the race. So I actually don't remember what to do here. They decide to attack. I think that's a fine thing to do. Though you probably lose here if I have a Skyclave anyway. I don't think it matters much. I draw a third Skyclave. It's kind of perfect. But since the Kami is tapped now, I don't really need to get rid of it. Yeah, they can like give it life and can like gain 5 life next turn, but like, who cares? Then I remove it and they spent like, you know, the entirety of their game going into that Kami, and we just remove it with 1 card, and we still have all our board in play. So we get to attack here for 5. They indeed do put the lifelink rune on the Kami, draw another card, play another land that's tapped, and they just attack us for 5 again. We go to 11. Okay, don't care. You're at 17. Don't care. I mean, I have 7 power in play. I even draw Captain here. So I'm just going to attack you for 7 and play the Skyclave here. Take away your Kami. And I have 9 power in play. Not quite lethal, but again, like, just it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can play a Runeforge champion, but I have just another Skyclave. So let's just get rid of your Runeforge champion and attack you down to 1 and the opponent concedes. Okay, perfect. Great game. Definitely playing the Evangel turn 2 here was kind of nice. You'll see me in other games later that I intentionally hold it and don't play it turn 2. That can be very important in certain matchups, such as the Mirror, for instance. Like the 3-1, you're not an aggro deck always, so like the 3-1 doesn't necessarily matter. You're just trying to like disrupt the opponent, but yeah, I mean, in this case, it was definitely like nice to have that extra pressure. I don't think it really mattered. I could have had no 2-drop, and this would still have been a great draw. Opponent would just have to suffer for another turn or 2. But yeah, that's like, this is why we played the white deck, right? Like, Archon is just so good against runes at times. I mean, it definitely can be. And I just completely locked out my opponent here. I was under play. Very easy. Sideboarded the way that I showed in the other video. Just go up to 4 Archon, 2 Brutal Cathars, 4 Portable Hole, really important to kill the early stuff. And I removed the Spellbinders and the Fleeting Spirits. And also a Faceless Haven from my deck. Also brought in Intrepid Adversary. But yeah, that's basically sideboarding. So yeah, watch the other video if you want to see the exact way that's done. Anyways, let's go into game 2 here. And now I'm on the draw. But I do have a Portable Hole, which is one of the important cards that you need on the draw. You need like Portable Hole, Thalia, or maybe Archon. Sometimes Archon can be a bit too slow on the draw though. So preferably we have Portable Hole or Thalia. And I have one of them here, so that's great. I have a removal spell later. Obviously like Cathar can get removed by the Circle of Confinement, but you still remove all the counters and the auras that was on the creature, so that helps a lot. And probably also gonna be another game where I play the Eventual turn 2. We'll see how this goes. Opponent mulligans to 6, it seems. Yeah, 6 and plays turn 1 Generous Visitor. Okay, that's a pretty good start. And alright, so I draw an Archon here. Great draw. Now I'm gonna play this next turn. The question is, do I just like Portable Hole away the Generous Visitor or do a hold for a turn? I think since I have the Archon now, it's not that scary if they play Yukai Naturalist on turn 2. So, and I actually have a turn 2 play because I just want to play the Evangel turn 2 now. Again, I drew the Archon, so like might as well play the Evangel. So I think it is correct to just Portable Hole, get rid of this Visitor, get out of here. It is worth noting though that Portable Hole can also protect my Archon because it can. Oh no, my camera is in the way here, huh? I'll just move it up a little bit. Because my I realized, by the way, that the entire last video, my camera is like blocking my hand, and very sorry for that. That will not happen in the other videos. I decided it was not bad enough that I had to redo the video because it is half an hour worth of talking, but definitely not optimal. But it's only in a few spots where I actually can't see my hand. Anyway, regardless, if you're watching this video, you probably already watched round 1, so you've already been annoyed at that, and I can't really, well. My apology means nothing to you. Anyway, the opponent here plays a Kami. Sure, whatever. I have an answer to that later. I don't draw another 2-drop, so I'm just gonna land on my Evangel here and go through that whole trigger process. Alright, so can I actually view my graveyard? Is that how it works? Oh my goodness. 17 lands is so good. Now they play the Naturalist, which makes sense to play it now, because then it's gonna like pump the Kami. They have a 3/3. I can just trade for that. They don't even attack. Sure. And now we land an Archon here. And you'll notice that I'm obviously holding the Aganjos in hand because they can use those removal spells. So definitely like one of the last lines you want to play. It's also like Aganjos is a great way for you to like play 2 things in turn later down the line with Archon in play. because it doesn't count as a spell. So they just go commune with nature and commune with spirits, and gets a Rune of Might. And like this card, if you're playing runes, probably don't play runes in Alchemy right now because it like has done really poorly. But if you do, board out commune with spirits against mono white. It's embarrassing against Dahlia, and it's especially embarrassing against Archon. Like my opponent's entire turn was just doing this, getting another card in hand that doesn't do anything because it just like, you know, they have to spend another turn just like drawing a card with this. So yeah, bought out the communes is all I can say. Anyway, that's all they're doing. They're not putting counters on anything. They're just like, that's it. They have this 2-turn 3/3. They don't really want to attack because I can attack back or trade or whatever. And now I get to just play a captain, and we'll see what I hit. And I hit a Skyclave and an Angel. That's what it looks like, right? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, so I put down Skyclave and then Angel got shuffled in. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just a great part of Captain, right? You have so many like annoying creatures that are really good to hit in these spots. So now I can just take away your Kami, probably, and just attack, because like Yokai Naturalist is not really trading for much. And opponent takes 5, go to 15. Now they make the impressive play of a Touch with Spirits. Okay, they get to take away my Archon. See, that's scary now. So now they only have 2 cards in hand though, so maybe it's not too bad. I bet like the Touch of Spirits was the card they were looking for last turn. With the Commune with Spirits. Didn't find it, but did draw it indeed. But yeah, they can just like play a Rune of Might and nothing else. Because they had to spend some extra mana on that Touch of Spirits. And yeah, now I can just get, even though I draw another land here, I can just like get in with that Brutal Cathar, get rid of your creature. Attack for 8, you go to 7. And now, because like I have my man lands up and ready to attack, like it's really hard for my opponent to like stabilize here. They have the lair, but they can't even like animate it. They don't have a lifelink rune here, which would be probably like a way for them to stabilize, except I have a Gancho anyway. So like they just give it haste. They actually have a portable hole. That's kind of neat. They can get back their Generous Visitor, or they can, I guess on my 3/1, they just get back their Visitor, sure. But even then, I can animate my Faces Haven. They can block like here, and they still take 7. So, and I have Iganjor available as well, because Vigilance on Haven, and yeah, it's all just like, just doesn't matter. And they die. Okay, you can see why these games were not very interesting. I can see my camera is actually blocking their enchantments, huh? Okay, well, that's, I guess there's just no good place for me, huh? Oh, there's a little day counter, because I guess it is day with the Brutal Cathar play. Anyway, yeah, I mean, absolute slaughter. In our testing, like, a lot of the games went this way. I do believe that a lot of the games against the Naya runes deck will go this way. Not all of them, some of them will be close, some of them are definitely losable, like it's not a buy, but it is one of the more lopsided matchups you will have in Magic. And yeah, that's why we chose to play this white deck. I mean, I also mentioned in my deck tech that like the first 20 matches we played of this matchup went 19-1 for the white deck. And yeah, I mean, this is just like how it goes a lot of the time. So yeah, not really that close. I mean, you just like disrupt their plan at every angle, and like, yeah, I mean, you don't always draw Archon, but with the Captain too, like it definitely helps. Anyway, just start out the tournament with like 2 pretty easy matchups, getting paired against someone who just net decked my, I hate the term net decking, but who just took my, Naya runes list, and that's something that we were very prepared to beat. And definitely expecting, like, with the amount of runes in the tournament and like how it seems that there's so many other decks that probably beat it, I'm not expecting to play against many runes for the rest of the tournament. So like, this was the easy part. This is why I chose the deck. And like, for the rest now comes the hard part. We have to like beat these other decks, the mirror matches and like the like black and white mid-range decks that are coming down the pipeline here. So stay tuned for that in the next round.